Welcome back, everybody, to the FuroX TV coverage of J Coffee's excellent 1v1 tournament. We're here in the winners' final with AoE Emp versus Torsos. I'm Yummy Cheeseman, and here with the man himself, the man of the hour, J Coffee. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, man. I'm actually keen to cast this one. AoE has had a surprise showing here today in the tourney. I actually haven't had him present in any of my tourneys in the past, so it's interesting to see how he fared against Noisy, who is renowned for his ones play. AoE beating Noisy quite convincingly in the third game of the best of three, and Torsus, the very famous ones player of OCE, is now going to come up against the underdog of ones, AoEM.
Yeah, AoEM, not particularly known for his 1v1 play. Seems that he is coming back and giving it a try, prove his mechanical skills. Seems to have been getting by very heftily on just being a very fast player overall. But it's going to be an interesting question of whether he can beat somebody who is strictly a 1v1 god with that keyboard Torsos.
And earlier on, Torsus has already applied the pressure. AoE has only had ball possession, not as much as Torsus. Torsus has had pretty much the dominant side so far in the first 40 seconds of the game. And here we go, Torsus is already trying to make a play. He's bounce dribbling it toward the goal, and AoE is on his back foot, and Torsus couldn't capitalize on AoE's back foot.
Great patience from both players as well. Torsos going for that bounce dribble, as you mentioned. Waited for the last moment, but AoEM wasn't deterred. Torsos has a breakaway, looking to get a shot on net. AoEM is going to clear that over to the side and send it back the other way. Just give himself a little extra time and some forward pressure. But Torsos, very skilled player, is able to deal with that very quickly and get possession back off the ball.
And here we go again. Torsus is back on the attack, but AoE going for the early challenge just to stop it from going into his half. Torsus now on the defensive end, but AoE just passes it to Torsus. And again, Torsus is in possession again, bouncing it off the wall, giving it to AoE, realizing that he can't make much of that situation. AoE again, just handing the ball to Torsus. He's not making much happen here, Yumi.
Yeah, well, AoE has been really impressive in the midfield. Torsos hasn't been able to get the ball out of his defense for a while, and it's just really great challenges coming out for AoE and forcing Torsos back on the back foot. There's a chance here. Torsos isn't backing down from this one. He has enough boost to recover. AoE isn't going to be able to convert.
Yeah, and AoE just went for the boost just then, resetting the play. Both have full boost, and AoE winning the challenge today. Can he capitalize?
Oh, here we go.
No, Torsus made it back to the net anyway, and AoE couldn't get the shot on goal. Now, Torsus with the breakaway, and AoE can't get back in time.
Just a bit of an overcommittance by AoEM too. He went for a very risky aerial play, mostly risky because he was going to be landing in that corner behind where Torsos was. And the patience of Torsos really shining through, allowing him to get that first goal. But we are halfway through the game, J Coffee, and it's only one goal. Very low scoring affair.
Yes, indeed. And I do have to point out that you can really see the difference in experience in one's show just then. But even though, as I say that, AoE still making the plays, equalizing the score at 1-1.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean, talking about the kickoffs, I assume. In terms of lack of experience, AoE does not have a 1v1 kickoff in the slightest. He just boosts straight towards the ball, which works perfectly fine most of the time. But in this case, he actually does get that flip. It does, however, force him to have low boost after the kickoff, and Torsos is able to take advantage, putting that one in the net.
Talk about this one for me, Yumi. I had a little bit of a distraction in the background, so run me through this.
Torsos, again, off kickoff, gets that to the side, beats AoE in a challenge in the midfield, and has boost left over. Very important. Torsos is conserving his boost and allowing him to get shots into that open net.
Yeah, and Torsus getting the upper hand halfway through the game. Here he goes now, dribbling in past AoE again. And oh my lord, the double touch off the wall. It just worked out perfectly for him.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of luck, but it was the dribble that set it up. Using the handbrake there in the center field to cut it further than AoE expected it to be. And once the ball was behind him, there was no way he could recover in time. 3-1 for Torsos. But as we've seen before, AoE is able to make these quick comebacks.
Too right you are. Hopefully he recovers from being absolutely bamboozled from Torsus' quick little touches just then. AoE trying to make a play, but screws up and Torsus just gets it right past him. And AoE, I feel like you've made a bit of a mistake here, buddy, and Torsus just got a pretty easy goal.
I think AOEM might have been going for a little bit of a fake play. Didn't see that Torsos was so close to the ball. And the prediction skills by Torsos there. See AOEM just touching it a little bit away from himself. And capitalizing on that is absolutely impeccable.
And props to Torsus for turning around as quick as he did. I don't know if it's because he's on keyboard and mouse, but I feel like it may have something to do with it because it's a lot easier to go from left to right on keyboard as opposed to analog stick. In any case, Torsus slots another one in the goal. AoE did not see it coming.
Firing away with this one, Torsos again getting a little quick turnaround, but it was the angle of his shot, rotating his card 90 degrees to get that power and direction on the ball. And now it's starting to really run away from AOEM. 4 goals behind. With 1 minute 45, Torsos puts another one on right over the top of AOEM.
Yeah, poor AoE thought he had a bit more time here, and Torsus just came in really quickly. I don't think he drove fast really forward. He didn't boost either, so AoE didn't have any sound cues to work with, which I feel like is a big part of ones, and AoE is just completely caught off guard because of that.
Yeah, camera work and sound work, awareness of where your opponent is it important at all times? And what a save off the side post. Even Torsos giving that a little bit of props. Torsos has this in the corner. AoE Emp is going to take possession and take it slow up the field. Torsos just waiting, and it seems to be a little bit of weakness from AoE Emp. Just his dribbles in the midfield aren't quite panning out so far.
Too right you are. AoE is just struggling to make some plays here. I feel like there's a lack of confidence going up against such a great ones player, and that's Torsus. And unfortunately, we don't get to see a Brazil yummy as AoE slots it in.
Yeah, it's maybe a lack of confidence on the ground, but when it comes to these angled shots, quick aerials, Emp is the king. So it seems that he needs to get this ball up into the air to continue this going. 1 minute on the clock and 4-goal difference. We're going to have to see some kickoff goals coming out.
Yes, indeed. I don't see this one happening personally, Yumi, but you never know with Rocket League. And Torsus, he just puts another one in, even making it even more impossible for AoE to come back from this.
Yeah, I was saying that he needed some kickoff goals, but I didn't mention which player. Torsos puts it the other way, and as a very experienced player in these tournaments, Torsos has a great kickoff, winning yet another one over to the side again. Another kickoff in a row going to Torsos, and AoE has a lot of work to do.
Yes, and
getting away.
AoE trying to make a play now. I don't think he got the mid boost, so he's at a bit of a disadvantage here in terms of the boost. And Torsus is probably going to get away with this because he didn't end up getting the boost. AoE is still struggling and is probably on welfare boost, but he manages to recover well, buy himself some time just to get the boost in the back left corner.
I've noticed AoE do that quite a fair bit. Whenever he's recovering and getting back with low boost, he manages to get a slight touch on his return home, just to give him some more time, throw off his opponents as they have to go and collect the ball. Torsos has the opportunity here right now, but doesn't put it in. Very well defended by AoE. He might get a consolation goal, but I don't see him getting 4 kickoff goals in a row.
No, you're right, mate. And yeah, AoE is just going to have to come back strong. And do remember, viewers, it is a best of 5, not a best of 3 anymore. So AoE has many games to work with right now and many chances. Vice versa with Torsus as well. Here we go now, back into the kickoff. Going to reset the play, and I don't see any of this happening, obviously. So let's hope in the next game, AoE comes in with a really strong start.
What does AoE need to do next game to really bring this back to Torsos and dominate the midfield?
I do feel like AoE needs to get more possession of the ball. Torsus has just been given too much time to work with to make his plays. And AoE himself also needs to make plays himself. He keeps on getting possession and doing nothing with it, and that needs to change.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you on that. And I think also Torsos has just been so good at adapting to the play. You've seen him at the start be stuck in his defensive half because AoE was constantly going for those midfield challenges and reads so well. And after that, Torsos just changed up his play a little bit, took it a little bit slower, or forced AoE onto the back foot, didn't allow those challenges to come through, and he looks much less comfortable after that.
That's very well said now that you pointed out. I do see that very well. And props to AoE, pardon me, props to Torsus for that. Credit where it's due. Let's hope AoEM can make some changes on his own and bring it back into the game too.
Yes, definitely the mark of a great 1v1 player. If you want to be a good 1v1 player, you just practice, play hard, you get your mechanics up. But if you want to be the best 1v1 player, it's about the brain, it's about the mind games, and trying to react, change, predict exactly what your opponent's doing and get straight inside their head.
Too right you are.
We're going to head into game 2. AoE Emp losing out this first one. Funnily enough, under the AoE Emp team name is Torsos, and this time they do switch it up. So Torsos is still on the AoE Emp team. You know, AoE Emp is on the Noisy team. And I think the very first opening signs of this game are going to be very telling heading into the rest of the series.
Yes, as much as I like to agree with you, I also do have to point out AoE Amp almost pulled off one of the biggest comebacks of any of my tournaments that I've seen so far. He was behind 5-1 with about a minute and a half to go against Noisy, and he ended up bringing it back to overtime. It was incredible. Getting into the play now, AoE already on the backfield. Torsus is on the attack. Can't quite get the aerial. He hits the goalpost. However, Torsus now has the boost advantage.
Yeah, Torsos, he's playing with the ball well. Just getting a lot of small touches around AoE Emp, and that is going to lead to the first goal of this game.
Torsus playing AoE like a fiddle in this one. He works around him, and AoE just caught out of position and just backflipping and just with no hope of getting to the ball.
Yeah, as soon as Torsos jumped, AoE Emp committed to that, but Torsos knows, trolls the ball, and only touches the ball a little away from himself so he lands right next to it, and cuts it back in past AoE Emp. Torsos has the forward pressure, but not going to convert this time.
Yeah, so Torsus is back on the attack again. AoE, I do feel like you need to make something happen. Torsus going for a great shot, but just hit the corner of the post, and AoE is back on the attack. Torsus is low on boost. AoE acknowledging this. He steals his boost, and now he's got the boost advantage. AoE on the attack. Can he make something happen? No. Well defended from Torsus, but Torsus is still at a massive boost disadvantage. He's currently on welfare boost right now and picking up the small little pads. AoE taking another shot, hitting the crossbar, and Torsus finally getting the boost that he wanted.
Yeah, AoE Emp, some very smart boost stealing, especially when he grabbed that one in the midfield. As he saw Torsos was leaning towards it. Oh, off the side post. Opportunity for AoE Emp, but he instead opts for boost, and now Torsos has possession and full boost, and we'll see if he can do anything with it. Currently, a lot of challenges coming out from AoE Emp right now.
Yes, I like this actually. He's not giving Torsus the time that he wants, and because of this, it's been a lot closer of a game. Last game around this time, there was a lot more goals than what there was, and AoE is back on the attack, and Torsus get back some time. AoE, he's still in ball possession, which is what I like to see out of him, but he gives it to Torsus, knowing that it was in a bad situation, and the ball was in a bad spot. But AoE for the challenge now, and he wins it. Can he capitalize? It's an open goal, but no, Torsus gets back just in time.
Thought he might have gone for the demo then, but he opts to go for the shot. Torsos gets back in time. Very fast on his feet, very fast thinker as well. Emp has missed the boost. He's going to be in trouble here, and Torsos is converting. A little bit of a misplay coming out from Emp there.
Yes, indeed. It was two misplays, actually. Torsus, unfortunately, didn't get the right touch that he wanted, and it just worked out for him that AoE didn't get the boost in time. And because of that crummy little touch, it got AoE in a very awkward spot, especially considering he didn't have any boost. Anyway, going on with the play, Torsus winning the kickoff. He's getting the boost. AoE should retreat and go for his own boost and get ready to challenge from his net. Torsus coming up the side now. AoE in net. And AoE defends that very well.
One of the big things I'm seeing, the difference between Torsos and AoE Emp, is whenever AoE is Emp's in defense, he does get a good clear or anything like that and prevents the attack. But whenever Torsos is in defense, he's turning a save into an attacking opportunity, usually able to get it past Emp, try and turn it into a counter-attack goal at the same time.
Too right you are, mate, and I do feel like that's where the different playstyles come in, as AoE is only used to 3s and Torsus is used to 1s. In saying so, Torsus with a great challenge over AoE as he tries to dribble it. What a quick turnaround by Torsus, and he just capitalizes on the open goal.
Yeah, showing that he has the ability to challenge in the midfield as well. He has been playing a little bit more patient,